game is the hardest game in your life?
Shit, no, I'll tell it. Like, go ahead. No, I remember we were about to play Game 7, 2012. So we were about to play the Celtics or whatever.
Game 7.
So I'm hyped as hell. I'm like, yeah, bro, we got a Game 7. Like, woo out the bam. Like, this is gonna be lit. So Eldon's like, you know we're gonna have to win by 15 just to win by 1. So I'm like, what you mean? He's like, bro, this is the NBA, it's entertainment. Like, LeBron is in a Heat or waiting. Would you rather watch the Celtics or the Sixers play the Heat? I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm on the team. I wouldn't even watch the Sixers play the Heat type shit. Like, so we get in this game, you know how much money the NBA is gonna lose. I'm telling you, take M's and M's from this. I'm like, what? He's like, millions of memories. Because this is entertainment.
Damn. Yo, YouTube, what's going on with y'all, man? It's your boy Q, back at y'all with another video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Y'all know the vibes, man. So the NBA draft lottery was a few days ago, man, and I must say the results of the NBA draft lottery got a lot of fans thinking that the NBA is rigged and scripted, man. And to be honest with you, bro, I think I'm gonna hop on that same bus, fam, because you're talking about a team and the Dallas Mavericks, right, that had a 1.8% chance of winning the #1 overall pick. And surprisingly so, they ended up winning the #1 pick. And
pick will be made by
this is after they had traded Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers in a ridiculous trade for, I believe, Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a first-round pick. Now, I'm pretty sure all the fans, including the Dallas Mavericks fans, was not happy with Nico Harrison when they found out that they traded Luka just a year removed from them going to the finals for Anthony Davis, who's a little older, a little more injury-prone than Luka Doncic is, you know what I'm saying? And fans were outraged, man. They was talking about firing Nico Harrison. I believe that's the GM of the Dallas Mavericks. I don't know the positions over there for real, but yeah, man. But now this is not necessarily anything new to me, so this is the reason why I'm not really outraged for real, because me as an NBA fan, I've been seeing this like year in and year out. You know, it just seems to me like it's just so ironic that when a team loses their star player to a more popular team, they end up getting the #1 pick not long after. If you can remember Anthony Davis when he demanded a trade to the Los Angeles Lakers, you know, and then the Lakers traded AD to the Pelicans. And then a year later, the Pelicans ended up with the #1 pick in the draft and ended up drafting Zion. How ironic enough, here's another one for y'all.
During the ball drop, you know, during the lottery drop, Cleveland got the #1 pick. I just don't think that was. Just,
whoa, what
a coincidence!
Don't you think?
Wemby with the Spurs.
Oh my God! Let's keep LeBron home. You know what? Patrick Ewing to the Knicks. You know, Derrick Rose to the Bulls. Like, I understand the assignment, guys. I had to make sure that, I had to do my part. I didn't want to be a fuck up.
I mean, y'all pretty much already know these, but. And let's be for real, man. Everybody knew Wemby was going to the Spurs. Everybody knew he was going to the Spurs. So it seems to me like they're not necessarily really hiding it anymore. Now players have came out and spoke about the NBA being entertainment and how we shouldn't take anything too serious when it comes to the league. So yeah, man, I'm not really surprised that any of this happened. I know that this was a constellation prize for the Dallas Mavericks for trading Luka Doncic and keeping the Lakers in relevancy somewhat, because LeBron's gonna retire soon, and they need another star there, man, to keep the Lakers on TV. You gotta give the people a reason to talk about the Lakers, okay? Like, I remember a few years ago when the Lakers were really bad. This was around the time when Kobe was like on the verge of retiring. I don't believe Kobe played that whole year, and they were really bad. You're talking about guys like Jody Meeks. You're talking about guys like, who else was playing on that team? Jordan Clarkson was playing on that team. Jeremy Lin, I believe, was on that team. They weren't a very good team. And when the Lakers are not the darling of the NBA, the media doesn't really know what to talk about. So with LeBron not gonna be there much longer, they need another star player there so they can keep the Lakers relevant. And that's why they convinced the Dallas Mavericks to make this trade, even though the Dallas Mavericks deep down inside knew that the fan base was not going to be happy about it. But now that they got the number 1 pick, let's talk about who the number 1 pick is most likely going to be. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows this if you've not been living under a rock. Cooper Flagg out of Duke, the forward. The kid's really, really talented. A two-way star in the league. I'm pretty sure he's going to be. He can play defense. He's a great offensive player. He plays with a motor. He plays hard every play. He was just in the tournament, and he also his jump shot is not that bad either. It still could use a little bit of work, but he was knocking them down last year, man, at an efficient enough rate to still be selected number 1 overall. I will say that. I do believe that with Kyrie Irving coming back from his ACL injury, he might not be 100% next year for the Dallas Mavericks. You still got AD, I'm not sure if AD is going to be on the team next year. I'm not sure what they're going to do with that. I honestly don't even know if they're going to draft Cooper Flagg for real, because, you got players like Giannis Antetokounmpo out there that could be looking to be traded, from the Milwaukee Bucks, because we know the disaster that was the Milwaukee Bucks this past season and how they got booted out of the first round of the playoffs against the Indiana Pacers. And I believe that Giannis has came out and said that he wants out. So that could be a play that the Dallas Mavericks could look to make. We'll have to just wait and see what they do with the number 1 pick. But I just know that any team that has the number 1 pick, you have a lot of pull and you have a lot of power, okay? Because especially when that number 1 pick is a guy like Cooper Flagg, who's potentially a generational player. So I'm interested to see what they do, But I'm just a little upset as a Heat fan, because had we not made the playoffs this year and had we hadn't gotten slaughtered, I'm talking about slaughtered by the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I'm now looking back at it, I'm like, what was the point of us making the playoffs, But who knows, though? We probably was involved in the deal somehow. You know what I mean? But made no sense for the Heat to make it to the playoffs this year, and we ended up, I think before we made it into the playoffs, I believe we had the 11th pick. And because we made it to the playoffs, we ended up with the 20th pick in the lottery this year. So, 9 slots from what we would have been picking had we had just, folded it in before we even went to the playoffs to embarrass ourselves, But, hey, man, it is what it is. Life goes on, and I highly doubt that they would have rigged it for us to get the number 1 pick. But it would have really been cool for us to have the number 1 pick. I don't think the Miami Heat has ever had the number 1 pick, so it would have been cool to, think about drafting Cooper Flagg. Now, just imagine if we would have had the number 1 pick. Just imagine how many teams would have been calling us, But, yeah, man, the NBA, man, I've already known this about the NBA, especially with that Luka trade, man. It raised a lot of eyebrows. I've already spoke on this on my channel before, why I think that the move was definitely a backhand move, and there was a lot of deals being made behind the scenes. But if you guys want to check that video out, it is on the channel. But, man, they've been doing this shit for years, man, so ain't nothing new to me. Just don't take this shit too serious, y'all. And based off of the way the playoffs have been going lately, yeah, man, I've been thinking the NBA is more scripted than it's ever been. Especially with prize picks. You look on, if you go on YouTube right now, and you watch like 2-3 videos back to back on YouTube, I guarantee you at some point you will see a prize picks commercial. Whether it's T Grizzly doing it, whether it's an athlete doing it, or Bet Rivers, Bet MGM. There's too much money, too much betting going around for them not to script the games, bro. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I'm gonna leave that there where it lies, man. Y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. Y'all know the vibes, man. And let me know what y'all think about the Dallas Mavericks out of all teams getting the #1 pick. You know, I think it's fugazi. I think it's fishy as hell. I don't think they should have got the #1 pick. In my honest opinion, I do believe that they need to go back to just giving the #1 overall pick to the team that sucks ass the most. And I know they're trying to get rid of tanking and all and whatnot, but let's be for real, man. Does anybody really give a fuck if the Utah Jazz tank? Does anybody really give a fuck if the Hornets tank? Ain't nobody watching them niggas anyways. So win, lose, or draw, nobody gives a fuck unless they're playing against your team. And if they're tanking against your team, why would you be mad about that? I wouldn't be. The Utah Jazz suck ass. They sucked ass all my life. Why would it change now? Why would I care now? The Washington Wizards, I can't remember I can't remember any time of them really being good for real, being a contender. So why would I care if they was tanking? Hey, man, it is what it is, man. But, yeah, man, like, comment, share, subscribe. Y'all know the vibes, man. And I'm going to catch you on the next video, man. Peace, y'all.